Morning. Thought I'd do a quick gear review. I've been carrying this Gerber multi-tool. Can't remember the exact part number on this. I'll have it in details for a while and never really cared for it. Granted, it's pretty cheap. I think they're like 40 bucks or somewhere around there. But it's kind of like a pain to use. Like even opening up the knives on the side and then the way it locks, you almost need to have two hands to open and shut it sometimes, and like this you have no access to that. Tools on this side, it just overall didn't really do it for me. So I ended up upgrading to this Leatherman Surge, which surprisingly, I know a lot of people say the Surge is really big, but if you compare it between these two, essentially it's the same dimensions in thickness, and it's actually a little bit narrower in width, and the length is just a little bit longer by about a ½ inch or so. It's actually easier to carry this in the pocket, not to mention the sheath it comes with, which I just have it on my belt, seems to work pretty good. But overall, so far I've had this for a couple months, beat it up pretty good. Knives still work. They're really easy to open and close. With one hand, you can just easily flip it over. And then if I need to use the scissors or the file, I just switch hands to my left hand. The only things I really don't like about this guy, the needle nose point comes to almost like a tweezer's end, which is great for pulling, metal and wood splinters out of your fingers, but for grabbing something, it's difficult to hold on to something tight with it, like say a flat plate or something, because it wants to pinch at the front and nothing in the back. So that's a little bit interesting. Other than that, I also broke a screwdriver on this thing, and I'll pull that out. Let's see here. Right here, the flathead on this. So the tools on this overall seem to be pretty durable. I was using this to pry up something kind of like this, and the tip broke off of it. Seems to be very hard steel, almost like they should have not tempered that as much, not as much heat treatment, so its hardness was a little lower. The locks on this are a lot better than what I have on a cheaper Gerber. They actually work. Like when you look at this thing, like this is the locking mechanism for these, which this one's intact, and then this one broke. So none of these things like this, knives and stuff, will actually stay locked out, kind of a safety concern. Anyways, overall, I'll submit a warranty claim on that screwdriver, see what they do, but overall I really like it. A lot better than what I was using. Really durable overall so far, and it's hard to tell, but I've really put this through its paces in the last couple months. There you have it. I recommend getting one of these. If you don't like the overall size of this, want something smaller, I'm sure that they have something smaller, but the access to the knives is so much better than what I'm used to. Like this is actually very usable from a tool perspective. Have a good day.